What's up, guys? Long time no see. I know I haven't put a video out in a few weeks. Actually, I did. I put one out just over a week ago. But as some of you guys know, it was taken down by you, not really by YouTube, by the owners of the content that was in there. Had multiple clips of Interstellar by Christopher Nolan, which is the property of Warner Brothers and Paramount, depending on what area you're in, what country you're in. So I did put it out, and then it got blocked, and then I put it out again, and then it got blocked. It's a room full of people in Los Angeles who are just monitoring people putting their stuff up online. You only get away with putting up a second or two. After that, they do a copyright claim and then a blocking. Now, I don't mind the copyright claims. That's perfectly understandable. There's a lot of music in there. That's fairly standard when you get a copyright claim for music, but people can still see the video. It just means you can't make any money off it, which is fine by me. I know what I'm doing. I know that that's the way it works. I wouldn't want to make money off somebody else's art anyway, but I want to make these videos because I think they're interesting and entertaining videos. I've done them many other times before when I use the right piece of music is sparking a copyright claim on the video, but it's just the right piece. I could use a different one or a different version and it won't block that, and I can make a few bucks off it, whatever. It's not very much money. Even if you get a lot of views, it still isn't much. But I always go, no, damn it, I want that piece of music. It's the right one. And it gets, copyright blocked, and that's fine. And whatever monies are made off it go to the owner of that material. And that's fine. But when you get a block and then no one can see it, it's like setting up a big birthday party, blowing up balloons, getting a cake and everything, and then somebody just locks the doors and no one can get in. That's basically what happens. It's rough, you do your best, you try and cut it the best way possible, don't use too much at one time, too much footage, keep it to 10 or 15 seconds, then go back to me talking, or use different clips from other things to illustrate your point, but and then go back to the movie. But it's just it doesn't, in this case, it doesn't work. And now I'm trying to put up part 2. I know a lot of you guys are anxiously waiting for that, and I spent all yesterday putting up different versions of it, and now they're not even they're just blocking it. They're even choosing bits that I'm in, saying it belongs to Warner. Like, they're getting lazy about it now. Whoever is in that room in LA is seeing me come up and going, oh, him again. I'll choose 5 minutes 50 to 5 minutes 59, boom. And it's just incredibly frustrating. Some of you guys are probably going to say, well, you shouldn't be doing this kind of thing. Why make life difficult for yourself? Just do what everyone else does. Sit in front of the camera in a room and chat about Rolex. And Lord knows I do some of that, and they are painless videos to make. You just sit there and you talk, show a few photos, edit it together, Stick on a beginning and an end. And Bob's your uncle. Bob's your auntie. And you have a video, and in some cases those videos get more views than anything. The one I did about the Rolex predictions there a few days before they actually announced them, the end of August, I guess, at this point. Huge amount of views. Not that that's the only important thing, and as I said, it's not it doesn't make you much money, but it's amazing that sometimes I go all the way to some beautiful city and pay for hotel rooms and train tickets and all of that, and walk the length and breadth of the city and do all sorts of B-roll shots of beautiful buildings and sunsets and put all this music together, and in the end, the video that, you know, you're just sitting there on a couch going, I think they're going to discontinue the Hulk. That's what gets noticed more, but that's just, I'm not going to cry about that. That's just the way of the world. It happens in every other sector, every other thing in the world, and especially in entertainment. You know, if we're always the greatest musicians and actors and movies that got the most attention, it would be a very different world. It's not always the case. So I'm aware of that, but I want to make the videos I want to make. I want to put the stuff together so that the channel is interesting for me too. You know, there's a lot of forgettable stuff out there on YouTube. So, you know, most videos out there on YouTube you could watch once and then you get all the information you need out of them, and then you never come back to them again. They'll just sit there festering, rotting somewhere in the bowels of YouTube on some server somewhere. And to me, it doesn't sit right with me, you know. As you guys know, or some of you guys know, I did music for a very, very long time. I wrote songs, made albums, poured my heart into a lot of that stuff. And, you know, you make a great song, people listen to it hundreds, thousands of times in some cases. So you're creating kind of immortal art, something that will go on beyond yourself, hopefully, if it's any good. It's not always the case. Sometimes you write some real turkeys. That's part of the whole game too. And so I just have this propensity to do the same thing on YouTube. Like, the biggest compliment I can get is when somebody says, I've seen that video 4 times or 10 times or even just twice. If you come back to it a second time to watch it again, that's mission accomplished for me. I'm putting more than just boring pedestrian banter chatter up on YouTube. So this is why I try to make these vids. The Watches and Movies vids aren't just watch spotting. They're not just, oh, look at that guy wearing that watch and what the hell is he wearing. It's much more about when they write a watch into the narrative of a film. The narrative arc plays around the watch in some way, that the watch actually plays a role in the plot. That's what the whole thing was about. I have to show you guys this sunset. It's a horrible day all day today, but it just cleared up right now. Let's see if I can flip this. Look at that. I'm actually just headed to the supermarket to get some coffee beans, a few other things. So this is the reality of it, guys. I'm so sorry. I think I found another website that will take the video and no one can complain about it, but unfortunately it goes in kind of low quality at 360 I think, or maybe 480p, which is like stepping back to 1998 or something, 2000 and something. I've edited all the new videos in 4K. It takes a lot of work. It takes a huge amount of hard drive space. And the reward is it goes up in 4K. I put it on my TV screen. Watched it in 4K. It was delightful. And it's I'm glad some of you saw the 4K version, but I know a lot of you didn't get that chance. I did consider putting the stuff up only kind of in the wee hours here, so that in California, whoever's doing that monitoring has already left the office. Because I noticed a couple of times that it did stick for like less than 24 hours. It was exactly in that window. And once maybe 9:30, 10 a.m. rolled along in Los Angeles, which is about 7 p.m. here, roughly. Boom. Like 2,000 or 3,000 of you guys saw the video in that window. So I was thinking, I'll do that. But come on, like, just chasing my tail. If I'm making content that you're supposed to be able to come back to again and again to enjoy, how's that going to work if it keeps getting shut down? So I'm going to do, I have the Murph watch, I have the Hamilton. I just picked it up the other day, got a loan from my good friend Mirko in Concato watch store. Great guy, sold me a lot of great watches. And I'm going to do a review of the watch. Honestly, the watch is not anything extraordinary by itself. It's a role in the movie that kind of adds the magic. But I'll do a review of the watch, and in that review I'll share the link where you can go and watch the other thing elsewhere. I can't say what the name of the site is because if YouTube are listening, I might get a little annoyed. I don't know what their policies are. I realize I'm kind of playing with fire here. It's so much simpler if you just sit there and talk, and if you use music, you use copyright free music or whatever. Some people were suggesting that to me. I'm like, I know how all this stuff works. I was in the music business for years, still am. If any moments I need rock music or pop or dance, I just use something of my own, or I reach out to my brother, who's also a music producer. I'm like, hey, do you have anything cool? All the Lenny scenes that a lot of you guys like. Some of you guys don't like Lenny at all, but others do. All that rock music in the background, it's all my brother, Emmett. He's like a little genius producer himself. He's like, yeah, take this one, take that one. I'm not using them. Put them to use, So I don't have a problem with finding non-copyrighted music, but I don't want to. I want, in most cases, to find the right music for the video. Something that can make an emotional connection. And if that means using something that's already used, the great thing that, a lot of the stuff I use is classical stuff. So those writers are dead, hundreds of years ago in some cases. So copyright doesn't reach beyond there, but the performance of the piece. So let's say it's a classical piece and it was performed by the Berlin Philharmonic, maybe the greatest Philharmonic in the world, or the London Symphony or something. They own that recording, and they usually come looking. In some cases, they divide the profits. They don't block you. They certainly don't do that. They're happy that their music is being listened to, and they should be. In a lot of the cases, they come back and say, hey, this is like a copyright claim, but they're going to give you half the proceedings, which I think is good sportsmanship. It's still not much money anyway, but it's kind of cool. The only thing I dislike about that whole thing is that once they take control of the of the copyright. You can't control the commercials, the ads, and that pisses me off, because I don't mind putting an ad before and after, but when you're deep in the middle of a gripping moment in a video and then it just goes straight to a commercial randomly, if you ever see that in any of my videos, it's because I don't have control. Once they say, hey, this belongs to someone else, you can't monetize it, they go ahead and do it on behalf of the third party, and they just riddle it with ads. You know, they turn everything on to try and suck every last cent out of the video. It's super frustrating. So anyway, yeah, I'm just ranting here so you guys know what my dealio is. Yes, I've been not posting any videos because I was ready to post the most mega gargantuan video of all time. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but a pretty amazing video that was gonna just blow everyone's minds, hopefully. And there was over 6, maybe 8 weeks of work in it, and I mean real work, I mean all day long kind of stuff, shooting and editing and putting together your whole plot. It's just incredible that it's just gonna be lost somewhere on a strange video site instead of actually getting the audience that it could really connect with. So that's where I've been. That's what I've been doing. I know a lot of you are thinking, where the hell is he? Why isn't he putting out a video? As it is, I'm not a regular video maker, as you guys know. Some people put out a video every single day. I think for me it's more about quality than quantity, honestly. I'd rather put one good video out every 7 or 10 days, or 4 or 5 days, than stick like a lot of forgettable videos out one every day. It's not my thing. They can do it if they want to do it. That's, if other people want to do it that way. Obviously when I do a travel video, I have to go to that town, I have to film the hell out of the place. I come back usually completely burnt out with 15 hours of footage that I have to sift through, and I spend weeks editing them. So some of you guys say, hey, when's the next travel video? They're the only ones I really like. I'm like, yeah, well, if I made one of those every week, I'd have a heart attack. Also, they're very expensive, and the channel doesn't generate a whole lot of money. I'm not in it for that anyway. It's nothing to do with that. I have my own vocations that pay the bills. But I do want to mention the support in Patreon. I have to say, especially since this fiasco over the Interstellar video, a lot of you guys came forward and said, hey, you put your money where your mouth is, and say, hey, we're behind you, these are great videos, hang in there, buddy, don't let the bastards get you down, as they say. And some of you guys really came forward with, it's actually turning into a situation now where I'm like, yeah, I'll actually turn down some music jobs to make a better video the next time, because that money is going to replace, I'm working with Steve Lyon at the moment. He's a famous producer. We collaborate all the time, and he reached out to me 2 weeks back to do some string arranging on a new record, some artist he's working with, and it's time consuming stuff. I just sent him all the stems yesterday. But if the channel if there's money coming in, if people want to help me with Patreon, maybe I'll, the next time one of those projects comes along, I'll be like, no, I can't do it, I'm in the middle of making a video, and that'll take priority. I understand some people are like, hey, why give him money? He's got a ton of Rolexes, blah blah blah, and he lives in paradise. But sure, and the jobs that help me do all those things are very time consuming. If I get another big album that I have to produce, it'll be the end of the Timeless Watch channel, at least for 6 months or a year, because I'll have to just focus on that. If the channel is actually generating a little revenue, which it's beginning to, not much, but something where I can say, oh, hang on a minute, I think I'd rather, go to a little Italian town and film it and show people a watch rather than write string arrangements or play bass or whatever I'm asked to do on a music project. I know I'm rambling, guys. I'm just getting all this stuff off my chest. It's been a very demoralizing couple of weeks. Definitely since I ran into all this trouble after all the hard work of those videos. I don't even want to think about it. It's just like, oh. But I just want to let you guys know what's happening. I will be doing some more basic videos, if you want to call them that. I'm just sitting there chatting about a watch, chatting about what I think about the new Rolexes and all that. Don't be disappointed if I'm not in some crazy cocktail bar or on a train to some place or showing you guys castles. And some people don't even like that stuff. They're like, just show us the watch. I use Lenny sometimes to play their role. I'm sure some of you picked up on that. But you know what? You can't please all the people all the time. Isn't that what they say? So that is the situation, guys. I'm going to go in. Look at that sunset now. That's just getting nuts. That is just gold. I'm going to go in and do some grocery shopping and expect to see some new vids going up soon. Again, don't expect crazy level stuff like sometimes I put out, because at this point I've just thrown away 2 months practically of hard work and a video that most of you are not going to see. But I will be doing some traveling soon. I'm getting some help, actually. You know who you are. I don't want to say your name. Amazing donations to the channel. A couple of you guys, actually. I'll have to run it by you guys if it's okay to mention your names. I'd love to mention your names, but perhaps you want to remain anonymous, and I understand that too. But I have to say, I really appreciate that kind of, some people want to really kick in on the channel and say, hey, I don't just want to give you $5 every month for a cup of coffee. I want to actually contribute to the channel and make it possible to get certain videos done ahead of time if possible. And that's not something I expected at all, and incredibly appreciated. So you guys are wonderful, and it will make a difference, a big difference. But I'll be doing some of those travel videos soon. I want to go to Vienna. I want to go to Turin. I want to get over to Ireland, which is where I'm originally from, and show you some of the beautiful country in which I was born. I've got to think about what kind of watch I want to show you guys there too. I'd like one of those emerald green dial gold Daytonas, but I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, also, some of you guys were offering to send me your watches, some really beautiful, very expensive watches to review. I'm very open to that. Obviously, although I do have a nice collection, it is not infinite. So eventually I do run out of watches, or I will run out of watches to review. That already happened with the Verona video, the rose gold CHNR, the root beer. That was Michele. He gave me his watch, just handed me his root beer. There was no insurance, there was no swap. He was just like, he came to meet me in Vicenza. We had a coffee, had a chat. He said, there, take the watch, I'll see you next week. And he's delighted with that video, the Verona video. So am I. It was wonderful. The watch suited that town perfectly. So yes, if you guys want to do that, I'm open to that. One thing I can't do, some people are asking me to do, is they're interested in a certain watch. There's just some watch they're interested in buying, and they want me to make a video about it. I don't know what to say to that, I mean, I know it's hard to know how much time it takes to make these videos. And maybe if you don't do video editing or any of that kind of stuff, if you're not in that world, it's understandable, and maybe you don't understand the level of effort. But even just from the perspective of you know, researching the watch, knowing what to talk about with the watch. You know, maybe it's a watch you're interested in, but it's not a watch I'm interested in any way. There are so many factors at play, and I've had a few of those requests recently. I don't know how to respond to those questions. I'm like, really? I mean, I want you to paint your house pink. Send me photos. Like, does that sound fair? No. Like, you want me to go and get a watch that you haven't bought yet? You just want to see what I think of it? You know, it's just, I don't know. You got to recalibrate there, guys. You know, some of you. I think like you think I'm a public service or something. Maybe we are. You know, it's a different thing with Tim from the Watchbox. That guy literally has all the watches that the Watchbox have. So he has access to hundreds, thousands of, tens of thousands of watches maybe. I don't know how many watches they sell. Maybe hundreds, maybe it's a more modest figure, but pretty much any watch you're looking at, you're interested in, you can punch into YouTube, and Tim will have a quick video, a 3-minute video of him just, you know, racing through all the specs like he does. Amazing guy. So, you know, maybe he's the guy you should be looking for. But if you're looking for a guy like me who likes to make an artistic video, something with music and something with an intro and something with a theme and all of that, I bet a watch that you haven't even bought yet. I don't know what to tell you. It's just, it's the look of the draw. I might pick a watch, or I maybe sent a watch. Hey, there's an idea. You want to buy the watch? Send it to me and I'll review it. Maybe we could do something like that, but otherwise you just have to hope that I do a review of the watch, or go look at somebody else's. I'm not the only watch channel, that's for sure. There's lots of amazing other channels. Go check out their one. Maybe they have the watch on there too. Alright, I'm just rambling too long now. I gotta get into the store, get my coffee beans, and get my ass home. I will talk to you guys very soon. Take it easy.